Hey everyone, and welcome. A common piece of advice I'm sure you've heard before is to play around winning lanes instead of trying to help losing ones. However, that's easier said than done. What exactly does playing around winning lanes look like, and how do you execute it? I can promise you, it doesn't look the way that you think it does. These are the questions we'll be answering in this video using the replay of the professional jungler Crush who plays for the Korean team Sandbox. For those of you who don't know, Sandbox is making headlines as they're a new team in the LCK who's currently dominating the veterans of the league. They're in second place and are the only team to take a game off the undefeated powerhouses Griffin. Alright, enough hype, let's jump into it with Sandbox Crush playing Kha'Zix against Camille. He starts the game getting a leash on his red buff. Take note of the godlike vision his teammates have provided him in the bot side of the map. This is because he's facing Camille. Early aggro junglers such as Camille, Xin Zhao, and Pantheon like to take a path where they do red into immediately ganking a side lane or mid. This is why they've warded the brush behind red and the bot side tri-brush. This prevents Camille from landing early ganks on these lanes. However, champions with dashes such as Camille, Graves, or Jarvan can hop over the wall to avoid these wards and then either gank from the river or steal a blue undetected. I just wanted to take a moment to highlight how this specific pattern of wards completely locks down and nullifies early aggro jungle paths. Sure enough, Camille was trying to be sneaky and hopped over the pit, but the ward in the river spotted her going for Kha'Zix's blue. As a response, he immediately invades Camille's blue to equalize. While doing this, he sees Camille on the bot side scuttle, which means he needs to secure the top side scuttle as compensation. During this time, Camille moves to gank mid. However, Crush decides against counter ganking and instead moves top, where he's able to gank and secure a kill. This can seem like a strange choice, considering that top lane was pushed and didn't look very gankable. At the same time, Syndra was full health and had minion advantage, making it a tempting counter gank. This highlights the jungling philosophy of Sandbox Crush. He focuses on lanes that are winning using a very specific technique, checking health bars. Let's go back to the start of the game, but this time with our teammates' health bars visible. We can see Sylas taking damage. At the same time, we can see Sylas and Victor's icons overlapping, indicating that they're trading. When this happens, you want to physically move your camera as a jungler to check the state of the lane. In this case, you can see Sylas won the trade and is currently winning the lane. Then, once Kha'Zix is finishing blue, we can see Sylas take significant damage. Once again, we move our camera to check the lane. Wow, things have changed. Now Sylas is losing lane. This is why Crush doesn't bother ganking top after taking blue and instead does scuttle. While doing scuttle, we see Sylas's health drop again with the icons overlapping, indicating that they're trading. If we check the lane, we can see that Sylas is ahead in both health and minions. I wouldn't go so far as to say he's winning the lane in this position, but he's definitely close. Instead of counter ganking mid, where everyone is full health, Crush realizes that it's far more impactful to gank a lane that's low on health and on the brink of losing. Additionally, he uses a really nice tactic a lot of junglers that need level 3 have been recently utilizing. Kha'Zix has killed 3 camps, his red, blue, and scuttle. However, you need to kill 4 camps to hit level 3. Most players wouldn't have ganked top in this position since they're level 2. However, by waiting in the brush, you can soak minion experience. Specifically, you only need to soak 2 minions. This lets Crush hit level 3 and execute this gank on a low health target, making for an easy kill. Afterwards, he helps Sylas push the wave in as he's too low to do it himself. Camille is on this side of the map, and Victor has teleport to teleport in and freeze the wave if he doesn't. Now you understand the technique. Watch your teammates' health bars while paying attention to icons overlapping on the minimap. These two things signal a trade. Then move your camera to check to see if the enemy is low on health and whether your teammate is winning the lane. If they are, then look to execute a gank. With this in mind, let's keep our teammates' health bars visible on the right hand side while jumping ahead 1 minute in the game. At this point, we see both Janna and Sylas take damage while the bot lane icons are overlapping. Let's check the lanes. If we look top, we can see Victor is both ahead in health while also having a minion advantage. Wait a second, shouldn't Sylas be winning lane as we ganked for him early and got him an advantage? Here lies the misconception of playing around winning lanes. It's not about who should be winning, it's about who's currently winning. In solo queue, teammates' skill and knowledge of matchups can vary greatly. This is why constantly checking the state of the lanes with your camera is so effective. Now let's look at bot lane. Wow, Draven is losing this lane hard, and he definitely shouldn't be. We would have never known this unless we physically moved our camera to check. We now know to ignore top and move to attack the vulnerable bot lane. After picking up the mid lane farm, Crush does exactly this and starts moving towards bot. With a big wave building up, tower diving is a great option as killing Draven would deny him the entire wave. So he begins moving bot lane for this tactic. However, Draven was forced to recall anyways due to the threat, and so he dives Morgana instead. Although he trades 1 for 1, this is still worth it as he denies all of this experience and gold from the enemy support while letting his teammates freely gain turret plating. Now, after Crush respawns and moves back onto the map, we once again see Sylas is low on health. If we check his lane, we can see Victor is as well. On top of that, a wave is building and pushing towards Victor. Again, we want to use the exact same strategy we used on bot lane. Dive Victor under tower and deny the big wave from him. That being said, Crush does a nice little optimization in the meantime of picking up the nearby Gromp to help him keep up in farm. He then executes the gank, gets a kill, and once again denies the enemy a massive wave, setting them behind. If we fast forward a minute to when Kha'Zix is handing off blue to Syndra, we can see bot lane trading and gaining a health advantage. This health advantage gives them control of the wave, and we once again know exactly what to do: dive them on the big wave. Crush picks up an easy kill on Morgana into zoning Draven from a ton of minions at the tower while securing turret plating for his team. Alright, we went over a lot in this replay, so let's recap. Kha'Zix started the game with his teammates setting up key vision to shut down early game junglers. This spotted the Camille invading his blue, and so he invaded her blue to equalize. While farming, Crush uses the technique of checking his teammates' health bars and icons overlapping on the minimap to indicate that he should move his camera to check the state of the lane. This helped him identify that Victor was low on health and gankable. He then used the tactic of waiting in a brush after killing 3 camps to soak 2 minions of experience to hit level 3. This let him skill into his leap ability and secure the kill on Victor. Afterwards, he uses the same process to analyze winning lanes that are gankable. This allowed him to see that his bot lane had won significant trades. This led him to execute a dive that would deny a big wave from the enemy. After this, he notices Sylas is back to winning trades and getting Victor low while a wave is pushing towards him. He makes sure to counter jungle the enemy's Gromp in the meantime so he's not giving up too much farm in the process. He then executes the same kind of gank, resulting in Victor's death and denying him a massive wave. He continues to scan the map with the technique mentioned earlier to identify that his bot lane was once again winning trades and got the enemy low. He then follows that up with a 4th gank to kill Morgana and zone Draven from another huge minion wave. With this simple and straightforward technique, he was able to achieve massive advantages for his laners 4 times in a row, which led to his team's victory. Alright, what do you think of Crush's jungling philosophy? Let us know in the comment section below, as well as any questions you might have. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get more content like this. In the meantime, check out these other videos which I know you'll love. As always, good luck and have fun on Summoner's Rift.